I hope you are doing well, and as the date for the AP exam comes up, I know that you are busily preparing yourself and studying and reviewing, and I just want to go over some of the things that I mentioned here in this announcement that you can find in Buzz. Um, and if you're not able to make the live review sessions, that's fine. Everything that you would hear in the live view session, you are going to hear right now in this recorded video. So you can just watch this, and you won't have to come to the live session if you can't make it. But in this announcement here in Buzz, I give you lots of information for you to check out, and we're just going to go over that right now as we look at an opportunity to review for the AP exam that's coming up. So the first link that I give you in the announcement just takes you to the College Board website, and it talks all about the AP Chemistry course and specifically about the exam. So I highly encourage you to look at this. You don't want to be surprised walking into the exam and not understand exactly what the format is or how long it takes or what the different sections are, how many questions there are, etc., etc. So make sure you look at this link here. It'll tell you all about it, as well as the date for the exam. Hopefully you found your location for your AP exam and you know exactly where you're going to be taking it. So you'll see here that the exam is 3 hours and 15 minutes long, has 2 sections, has a multiple choice and the free response section. You should be aware of that already. This here talks a little bit about the multiple choice section, and make sure you're aware of how many questions, the time limit, and as well as the fact that a calculator is not permitted on the multiple choice section. That's section 1. Here in section 2, you'll see that's the free response one. There are 7 questions. Those could be multiple parts, so 7 questions that have multiple parts. You have 1 hour and 45 minutes, and that is half of your exam score as well. And then this breaks it down a little bit more as far as understanding what you can expect from the free response section. So there are 3 long and 4 short answer questions, and you're going to be looking at the questions are going to assess the following skills, and there's a list here for you, so make sure you look at that. You are allowed to have a scientific or graphing calculator on the free response. So make sure you have that, make sure you have it ready, make sure you got extra batteries if you need them. And then you will, of course, have the periodic table and the formula sheet that is going to be available to you. Okay? So it's the same formula sheet that we've been using in our course all the way through. I did that intentionally so that you're familiar with it and you know exactly where those different formulas are. Okay? The other link that I gave you is going to bring you to the course and exam description. So this is going to give you a breakdown as far as, if you take the time here to look, it's going to give you a breakdown a little bit of the different topics and the emphasis of those. Okay, so you can look at the concept outline here, and then you can understand a little bit better as far as what the emphases are in the AP exam. Okay, it's the same ones that we've been doing in the course. The course should prepare you very well. If you did well in this online course, you should do very well on the AP exam. Okay, but I'll just mention a few things here that you should be aware of. This here is going to talk a little bit more about the course and the exam. You've already gone through the course, but this is just some more information about the exam as well, so you might want to be looking at that, those paragraphs there. If you're curious about how the exam is scored, maybe you don't know, you can read this paragraph here that talks a little bit about how the AP exams are scored, so that you have a clear understanding of how that relates to you. Okay? As I mentioned, everything that we did in this course is going to help you prepare. So all of the chapters that we looked at are going to fully cover the main big ideas throughout this course. But you can look through these big ideas here and you can get an idea of what you do and do not understand. Especially I would focus on these learning objectives. So as you move through this, if you think that there's a learning objective here that you're a little weak on, then just make note of it. So these learning objectives are in the gray boxes as you scroll through this document. And if there's something here that you're unsure of, then you definitely want to make note of that and find some practice problems that are going to help you prepare for that and practice those and review those different objectives. Okay, so there's a whole list here, all these learning objectives that are covered within the different big idea sections. Okay. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about then is once you've narrowed down the things that you need to work on, maybe going through this document here, or maybe you just know. Maybe you just know already. You know exactly what you need to focus on. Another way to find to figure out what you need to focus on is to look at some practice tests. Okay, so back here in the first link, you'll see there's practice for the exam. And that practice for the exam, if you go over some of these questions, then it'll expose to you maybe some things that you need to work on. Okay, so there are different multiple choice questions here in the course and exam description, and then there's a whole series of free response questions, older ones that you can look at, and this will help you then narrow down what you need to work on. So I highly encourage you take some practice exams if you haven't already, and work on those and allow those then to tell you what you need to focus on. So once you've done that, either you've practiced done a practice test, or you have looked at all of the different objectives in the course description, then you can come to this website here, which I've given to you in the announcement. And this Khan Academy here website is going to give you all of the different topics that you need to know for the AP exam. So if there's something that you feel shaky about, you could even just use this here, and you could look through this list and say, you know what, I remember this gas and kinetic molecular theory, but I kind of forget it. I'm going to watch this video just to give me a quick review. Okay, or I know I'm weak in thermodynamics. I need to learn more about enthalpy and entropy. Or maybe equilibrium is a big topic in the AP exam, as are acids and bases. So you might want to take some time to focus on those. All of these topics you need to have mastered, and so this is a great website for you to quickly get a review and then allow those review opportunities to determine what you need to focus on a little bit more. Okay? And then that other link that I gave you in the announcement here is giving you some links to, or some opportunities to look at some of the different free response. These might be the same free response questions that are also found on the College Board, but here there's a video explanation, I believe, of each of these. So they walk you through these and help you understand a little bit on how to respond to the different free response questions on this 2015 FRQ. Okay, so that's really all that I'm going to share with you. Really, the rest of it is up to you. You can certainly email me questions and send me questions if you don't understand something, but take the time to dive into these different websites and to use them effectively in order to prepare you for the upcoming exam, which I believe is coming up real soon. So I am always here to help, and even though it's an online class, shoot me an email, or fill out one of the responses in the course itself, and I will always check that and get right back to you as quickly as possible. Okay? I trust that the course has been helpful, and that you're going to do very, very well on the AP exam if you're taking it, and I wish you all of the best.